Rivers State, the sixth most populous state in Nigeria. Economically significant as a center of Nigeria's oil industry and home to many indigenous ethnic groups, with overall communities coming to great effect with the influence of its illustrious sons and daughters who have distinguished themselves meritoriously in various fields of human endeavor. Casting Nigeria's history will not be complete without the mention of Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani, born August 17, 1941, in Nkoro Town, Okpobo Nkoro local government area of Rivers State, a son of a fisherman, late Sir Ishmael Igbani Claude, and late Abigail Dapa Ammonia, a trader.
I was born in Nkoro Town, in present Okpobo Nkoro local government area. As far as my childhood is concerned, I don't really find anything very interesting. The only interesting thing about me is that I like to go to school, and I used to while you people are using computers and all that, I used to draw on the ground. Anytime I come, I go and sit down on the ground, on earth, just drawing, doing arithmetic, spelling, everything, you know. The only thing I can say is a little interesting is that my mother came from Nkoro and my father came from Ikru Town in Andoni. Now, coming from Ikru Town in Andoni is not exactly straightforward. His father came from Boni, but he lived in Ikru Town because his mother came from Ikru Town. So that's how I became somebody born to somebody whose father is from Boni. So if you really want to know, the interesting thing about me is that I think I am on three tripods. I have Igbani, I have Andoni, and also have Nkoro. My mother came from Nkoro, and all the time, in fact, my middle name, was given to me by my grandmother. She gave it to me because the women in Nkoro were saying that my mother went and married a stranger. She should have married from whom? Rather, she went and married an Andoni man, which is what they know. So my grandmother was now answering them with my name. And the answer was Jikiri Lakabo Furi. I felt close at all to anybody. It would probably be to my mother, you know. But I was listening more to my father. But my mother was closer to me. You know. I don't know whether to say she was close to me, but I like to be near her most of the time. But most of what I would do, most of the things I say are from my father, because he always wanted us to be near him. None of his children came close to him, but when he wanted to eat, he would ask me to eat with him. So I always ate with my father. We were very poor people, but at that time, even though we were poor, my father seemed to be, nowadays they will say shakara. My father liked to do shakara, you know. He would wear shirts and tie, what do you call it? Tie, I've forgotten what they call it. Is it necktie? Like Boni people, you know. Okay. And he makes sure that his cloth was properly tied, his shoe was properly polished, and before he goes and, you know, he was dressed completely. You know, you wouldn't even recognize that he was a fisherman. I enjoyed how he was dressed. I enjoyed how he was also acting as a lawyer for his group. And he didn't go to school, but anytime there's a case, he will ask you questions and probe you like a present-day lawyer. And I like that about him, and I think I took after him in that respect. My mother was if my mother had gone to school, she would have either been a singer or an actress or dancer. She can mimic anybody, even the way you speak, the way you dance. If you saw how my mother used to do this Ajasco dance, you would say, this is an old woman. She was very good. She could dance very well, and she could sing too, and could mimic. In short, if she were in the present generation, she would be an artist of one kind or the other. Yeah. I had very good relationship with her.
It wouldn't be out of place to say that Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani is a child of scholarship, as characterized by his early educational journey. Was the only student in Cross River State to receive the 13th Student Award Scholarship by the then Eastern Nigerian government. One of such awards Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani received is the Kwame Nkrumah Scholarship to study agriculture in the University of Legon, Ghana. There was no differing timelines as he pursued same course at the University College Ibadan. Though in light manner, he admits that studying agriculture was a second choice since he had earlier aspired to study medicine.
My original idea was to do medicine, but we come from a very poor family, and so most of us who were at least slightly brilliant were chosen to have scholarships. So at that time I had a scholarship to go to the University College Ibadan, or to go to the University College in Legon, Ghana. But I chose that of Nigeria because frankly the money for the NAF of Nigeria was more. So I enjoyed it. But when the time came now for me to actually fulfill my goals of going to do a master's and perhaps PhD degree in the United States of America, I left. I left the ministry, I resigned and joined the University of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, where I did both my master's and my PhD in rural sociology and anthropology. But later on, I specialized, believe it or not, in statistics, which was something that I feared before. I was now teaching statistics when I graduated. When I got my PhD in the US, I taught at the University of Jersey City, where I was the head of department of sociology and anthropology. It was during that process of being the chairman of the sociology and anthropology department at that time Jersey City State College, that I was called upon to become a commissioner in the River State government. Frankly, I didn't understand what that meant because I was holding a good position and I was happy. So I really didn't want to go. But about a month later, I got a call from the embassy in Washington, D.C. saying that I've been appointed or I've been nominated to become a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I said, I can't let this one go because I know what the name minister stood for. I didn't know what commissioner stood for. So that's how I came back to Nigeria.
The first impression on arrival to Dr. Ishmael Igbani's home is that of sweet floral scent and transcaline sight, the reflection of colors that takes effect when the sun shines on the petals, an ambience deserving of a peaceful mind and someone considerate of true happiness. As a man that cannot be modeled on the conventions of a concise portrait or an encrypted society desire, his character challenges the commonplaces of men.
Like you going, he hits it directly. You do something wrong, he calls black. He doesn't like, if you are wrong, you are wrong. It doesn't matter whether you are the son or you are the daughter. You are wrong. He tells you to your face. And he tells you this thing you've done is wrong, you need to change it. So generally it is cool, it's calm. It's like it's like going to school in your home with my dad. Okay. You are at home, but you are learning. Okay. He's always, there's something. He's like a well of knowledge. You can never get enough. There's always something that he might not have told you before. There's stories. He's an epitome of knowledge. Let me just put it that way. So being in the house is lovely. I love it when he's around. There's always something, and there's always this calmness with him. When you're around him, he's always calm, keeps you happy, and he gives you your leeway.
Is everything and so much more. I know how other people's fathers can be. My father is amazing. Like he lets you be who you are, and still while letting you to be who you are, he will put his input, and he's so intelligent that every conversation, even when we're just joking around, every conversation that my father makes is intelligent. It helps you get to somewhere and you say something based on what my father said, and everybody will just be looking at you like, you are not a young girl again, no. you are too intelligent for your age. So every single time you are speaking with my father, whether it's you are just joking around, playing, is insightful.
Indeed, Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani lived a life well scripted. His life was one of dependability, empathy and generosity, fairness and commitment to duty. It might have been a tough job playing these roles, and Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani rose to the challenge of being a father, a friend, and a mentor. Dr. Ishmael Jikiri Igbani passed on to the great beyond on the 24th of October 2022.
I was surprised. He said, "Come. I've dropped somebody, you will take over that place." I can't do it. I'm not qualified to be there. He said, "You will be there, whether you like it or not." And when I came in, the way he treated me was, my father is a hot man, very hot. That is his uncle, very hot. But when I look at my brother, as I'm talking to him, weeping, he treated me like a baby. Where I am getting out of point, he will bring me back. If there is an interview, he will watch at me. He will signal me the way to speak, the way to grow up. Because I was not well educated. But he has impacted more knowledge into me today. And what makes me so excited in him, that when people said, "You serve your brother as if he is God," I told them that even God is here. I will tell him that you have given me somebody that is great, that I will serve. Because if I could not be able to serve him, I can't serve God. So my brother has made me, in fact, he has put me out of shame. Today I am a great man in my community. I am a great man in this state, River State. My brother has made me to, when I look back, I know that I have a father, a real father. And he made the children, his children, as if I am their first son. Whatever thing they wanted to do, they will come closer to me. They will come and sit down with me. And they are so knowledgeable like my brother. And whenever I look at them, with me looking at them, as I'm talking to you now, me looking at them, I am telling you that I'm seeing my brother's picture. This time, even when I sleep. And let me tell you one good thing about my brother. We went out to see great men like somebody he mentioned here, the former president, the late one right now, Shagari. We went to go and visit Shagari. I thought he would just left me behind and I went inside. He said, follow me, and I followed him. And when we went to the corridor, the SSS stopped us not to go in, stopped me not to go in. That is only him. He said, I am not going without my junior brother. I said, wow. And Shagari was watching through his camera and he saw him and he came out and asked them, what is the problem? Don't you people know that this is my minister? And they said, no, we allow him, but we don't allow the next person to follow. And he said he would go with me. He said, why not allow both of them to come in and see me? So we went inside, and when we went in, we saw Gawon was there. And it is only two of them that are there. And I was with my brother, a father like that. He's no longer my brother. As I'm talking to you right now, if it is so, and if somebody can open my heart, that this is where my brother will die, and that I can exchange it, that he should be alive for my family and his family, I will do it.
While I worked at the INEC, I was the director in charge of political party monitoring and liaison, and late Dr. Ishmael Igbani was the chairman of the committee. So I worked closely with him as the secretary of that committee. And it might please you to know that when we had to take decisions on national issues and other committee members were bringing in emotion, tribal and religious sentiments, Dr. Ishmael Igbani stood on the path of the law. And he impacted so much on me that a man who was under such pressure could stick to the law. And as a civil servant, that is what we ask for. We have terms of reference to work, and we should keep to it. I admired him for that, and I loved working with him. To the glory of God, today he is no more. But I know by the grace of God, he's resting in peace. Dr. Ishmael Igbani was a very amiable person, very friendly, very social, within reasonable limits. Above all, he was a kind man, very kind person. This world, we are in a journey. We cannot be in it forever. So he has lived and he has gone. I pray that his soul should rest in peace.
I was transferred to the headquarters of the Commission in 2002. And I met Dr. Ishmael Jikiri as a National Commissioner of the Commission. He was then the chairman of the Political Parties Monitoring and Liaison Committee, a very powerful and prominent committee of the Commission. He earned my respect for his knowledge, deep knowledge and understanding of both the staff and the work environment. I worked very well with him, not only in that committee, but in other committees as well. We traveled together on a number of electoral duties across Nigeria, one of which particularly was that of Imo East Senatorial District election sometime in 2005, which was very impactful on both the electoral landscape and as well as the Commission. I believe that Igbani earned the sobriquet, the title of the leader, because of his approach to problem solving. He particularly was interested in making an impact, making positive impact on people. He is a natural problem solver. He is a solution finder. When there's a problem, you go to him, he will find the solution. And that was what made him distinctive among his colleagues, to the extent that shortly after he completed his tenure from 2002 to 2007, he was reappointed in 2010 for another 5 years, making him the first to have successfully completed a tenure, and was reappointed before others subsequently followed. I think his experience as a two-time federal minister from 1979 to 1983, and 1983 again marked him out as an astute leader and a natural community inspirator, motivator, and originator. And so I remember him clearly as one who stood for what he believed in. He stood for principles of truth, justice, fairness, equity, and defended them, not just when it concerned any high-ranking officer, but virtually the entire staff of the commission. He belonged to all. He was friendly with all. He threw banters. He joked. But then, behind that personality was also a very serious-minded individual. And I give it to him. We're going to miss him because his presence was always a catalyst for other things. And I believe that his transition was divine, but then he has left his footprints on the sands of time. May God continue to rest him in eternal heavenly peace. Amen.
We used to call him Elder because he gave us elderly advice, useful advice in the commission. I became very, very good friend of his, a personal friend. We visited ourselves. I've been to his house several times, as far as going to Port Harcourt, his house. We went to Bielsa together, all these tours. We had tours together, and he made sure that we were always together. We were not separated from going up and down together. And anytime there is anything personal, he let me know. He came to this place where I'm talking now many times. I've been to his house many times. And I have so many photographs. We've been together, South Africa, all over the places. Dr. Ishmael Igbani was so friendly to almost everybody. That is taking my personal relationship apart. He was such an elder who gave good advice to everybody with open heart. He did everything open mind, and he did everything in good faith. And until about the time he was to die, I think it's just a week or two before he died, we communicated. So just to tell you how close I was with him. So in fact, his demise was a big, big blow, not only to me, to my immediate family and people around me who knew me with him together. In fact, we miss him, and I will never forget him. He's been a friend, and I pray God to grant him good Al-Jannah as he rests in peace.
It's my senior by age, but I learned one thing from him. Dr. Igbani is one man that just be bold enough to say, okay, I have something that I want to tell you. I have a need. Unlike some person who will not say, why did you meet me on the road, sir? Why not come to the office? Dr. Igbani will say, yes, tell me what you have. And if you are bold enough to say, okay, this is what I want, I said, okay, I can't attend to you now. Come to me in the office. So many times I will ask him, okay, why do you attend to me? He said, no. That person is in need. And so there's no way delaying him. And so I see him as a man who is humble. How did they apply this? He said, no, it's from my humble background. There's no time you knock on Dr. Igbani's door and you not see one staff making one request, either financial request, complaining on one thing or the other. And I discovered he has a listening ears. I once told him that, okay, I have some ceremony to do. And he asked me, do you need drink? I said, yes, I do. That's how I got to know that he's a shareholder in one of the popular drinks, something like that. Chelsea and some other drinks.
And so I said, they say, where is the venue of the ceremony? I said, okay, as usual, it will be in the village in Element. He said, go. Before you reach there, just give me the phone number of somebody that the driver will call. And by the time I left Abuja, somebody called me and said, okay, somebody brought a lorry load of drinks for the ceremony. I said, from where? He said, the man said he's from Aba. I couldn't connect Aba and Abuja because the person I discussed with is in Abuja. Now the person that is delivering the drink is in Aba. I called up, I said, okay, somebody delivered the drink. He said, yes, I sent him. It's one of my zonal distributors. So what am I saying? It is a man that reaches out to a lot of people.
I don't know if I can describe him in one word. It's just, it's too much.
It's okay. One word is much.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's just awesome.
Okay.
Let's leave it at awesome.
Well, to be honest, I don't think one word can describe my father. To be honest, you know, there are so many things put together in one man. Because you know, he's a father, not just to me, to so many. He's also a friend to so many. He's a brother to others as well. He's compassionate. He's kind. You know, he's understanding. He's calm. You know, one word can describe him. Let me be honest. If I were to try to merge it into one word,